It is so cool. And I know, and to block the blocks, because I know that this is gonna just lay so much nicer. Oh my gosh, I can't even talk today. Lay nicely once it's been blocked. Hello, my name is Michelle, and this is Michelle's Fiber Studio Podcast. Today is Monday, March 8th. Is it the 8th? 9th. Wow, I lost a day somewhere. It is March 9th, and this is episode number 84. Well, hello. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous day here in Maine on this Monday. We're having a, I can't say early spring because I know it is way too early to claim spring. We're having a little brief warm up, spring thaw. There we go, right? So it is sunny, partly sunny. Sun's kind of dipping in and out, but it is, I just checked, it is 64 degrees and it feels amazing. I do have the window open next to me to allow a little bit of fresh air. So if you hear some background noises, that's what it is. But we take that opportunity whenever we can here in the state of Maine. So let's see. I have just a bunch of updates. It's actually going to probably be a fairly quick episode because I had a pretty busy week and I didn't get as much done as I would have liked. But I will share what I have and kind of my goals and plans for the coming week. And yeah, I guess that's it. The only piece of knitting that I'm wearing is my Sophie scarf, which was a Christmas present from a coworker. She was my secret Santa and she's a knitter, and so she made this for me. So that is the only bit I'm wearing. Other than that, no hand knitting on me today. So I would say with that, let's head on over to see what is in my project bag for this week. Start with my Imagination Quilt. That is by Meema Makes, and this is of course the project that I've been working on since December. Let's see, December 22nd is when I started it. I'm using my Emma's Yarns 2025 Advent, and I did sew the first, well it's actually block 2, but I did get a whole block sewn and then the borders crocheted on. Let's be honest, it was a little bit of a cheat because it was partially sewn, but that is a-okay. I'm taking it for the win that it is. I still have a few ends to weave in, but it is done and I'm really, really pleased with it. And I'm excited to do the rest of these blocks. It is so cool. And I know, and to block the blocks because I know that this is going to just lay so much nicer. Oh my gosh, I can't even talk today. Lay nicely once it's been blocked. So yeah, pretty fun. They do take a while. So I think one block a week actually might even be a stretch with everything else, but I have to set a goal somewhere. So I'm still gonna keep and hold on to that goal. It means that it's gonna be probably the end of the summer before this blanket is done, but that is quite all right. Okay, I think from that blanket, let's take a look at where I'm at with my Aura Lapghan. That is the crocheted blanket by Toni Lipsey. 2 crochet projects back to back. So this is the stack that I did. Are you getting, I don't think, can you see there's brown in there? Hopefully that's picking up a little bit. There's a little bit of brown in the center. So that was to this color. I have these 2 in this style. I have 2 in this style. A lot of these use the same colors, but it's a reverse. So you got the dark and the light, and then the light and the dark. And then I know I had done, I think this one here. So there's the companion to that hexie, and that takes me back. So what was that, 8 of them, I guess? My goal was 16. So the last clue, or it's probably actually not the last clue because there's still no assembly instructions, but the clue that came out last Tuesday did have what appears to be final hexies. So there was, I think, 5 or 6 like half hexies and then 5 additional full hexes that you do in the browns in Crocheter's Choice. You could pick whichever style you like. So to me, that indicated the last of the making of the hexes themselves. So I felt pretty good about setting a goal. So I sat down and I counted out however many hexes that I needed. Let me grab my notebook. And I do believe that that worked out to 16 hexes each week for the next 4 weeks. And then the last week I would do the 6 half hexagons and the 5 additional neutral ones. So my goal was to do all of each color because it felt like it would be easier instead of working through like clue by clue and doing all of them in all of the colors. It felt like at this juncture, because I have so many to do, that it made more sense to just do all of the blue pairing, all of the green pairing, all of the, I think purple is my last color in the neutral. That way I could take out just those colors from the rest of the blanket yarn and only have the smaller amount of yarn to tote around. So that works out to 16 of them. So I must be 10 because I know I have 6 left. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yep. So I got 10 done. 16 is probably a little bit of a stretch. These take a little bit more focus than I don't want to say that I would like, but they take a little bit more focus. So it's not like if I'm just knitting and working on something, I can as easily do that in conjunction with something else. So we'll see where they land. I do still have a loose goal of finishing them by the end of the month, but like I said, that might be a stretch. I did, and the reason, again, if you recall from last week, the big reason that I wanted to finish the crocheting of the hexes by the end of the month is because I got a baby blanket I need to get started for my nephew. I actually saw my sister-in-law, his mom, over the weekend, and the baby is due in the middle of July-ish, I think she said. I don't remember the exact date, but they are planning a baby shower on May 16th. Pretty sure it was the 16th. So middle of May, anyway. So if I can finish all the hexes by the end of March, like that end of April or first weekend in April at the latest, then that will give me 6 weeks or so to crochet the baby blanket, which I might be using some of these yarns. I have to try to sit and pick a pattern and figure out what I'm going to do, but this is the baby yarn that I tend to use. So it's the Yarn Bee Baby Bee Sweet Delight from Hobby Lobby that I'm using for this. So we'll see where I land, but that is those. I'm really having a lot of fun with them though, because they're super cute, and this is going to be a fun little blanket once I am done with it. I don't know where I'm going to throw it, but it's going to be a fun blanket nonetheless. So, all right, those 2 projects. Let's shift over to some knitting, because that is primarily what I do, right, is knitting. I only have 2 of the projects that I really worked on to speak of. I actually had a fairly busy week, and I did not get off. I think I bit off more than I could chew in my goals. I did not get done what I kind of would have liked to have gotten done. And in all frankness and fairness, this coming week is shaping up to be also another really busy week. I have several things going on in the evenings, and then this coming weekend, my son is moving, my oldest son. So we're going to be busy helping him prepare for that. So I don't know how much yarny time I'm going to have. So the fact that I didn't meet my goals last week, so I'm already, I hate to say behind, but I'm already behind, doesn't bode well, because that probably means that I'm not going to be making much forward progress this week either. But at any rate, I have my Spooky Girl socks. My goal was to get half the leg done, and I would say that that's probably exactly what I did. So tomorrow night we are driving up to Orono. My younger son has his concert, and this is coming with me. I am hoping I can get the rest of the leg done tomorrow, and then I will just need to turn the heel, and this will stay on target. So if I, stay on target with 1 or 2 of them, then I will be happy and call it good. So this is the yarn from Woolen Woman Fibers. Do I have the tag in here? It was my August box, I think, and it is Spooky Girl Summer. is, there we go. I keep forgetting. I need to hide my eyes so that way you can see. So it is my second sock, and I'm enjoying the colors very, very much. So that's what those look like. All right. And then the last project that I got some work done on was my Soubrette. Soubrette is a sweater by Annarella of Lyrical Knits. And again, I didn't hit my goals on this one. My goal was to get the entire yoke done and get it to the point where it was split for the sleeves. And yeah, big epic fail on that one. But I'm happy with my progress nonetheless. So my stitch marker is here. And so I got a couple inches done. These rows are not small. They do take a while. I have 12 more, I think, before I'm done the increases. I think that's what it worked out to. So maybe I'll take this and I will knit on this in the car, and then I can work on the sock during the concert and on the drive back home, because it is good in the dark knitting. And it's like an hour and a half drive, so, or hour and 45-minute drive. So that might be good, and then I could get those increases done, and then I'm not sure what happens after that. But so again, this is the Illimani Sabri is the yarn. And I'm starting to make a dent in this first skein, but I still have quite a bit. So loving how this is working up, though. This is going to be an amazing, amazing sweater. I'm really, really excited to have this one done. It's a cotton alpaca blend. My gosh, I can't even talk. And it just feels really, really lovely. So that, I think, pretty well wraps up the current works in progress, at least for this week. I did not get any further on my watercolor cowl. Actually, even totally forgot that I had that as a project until I was going through my notes for today. There's, where my head has been at for the last week. The other thing that I've actually put a fair amount of work into this week is my cross stitch. I have been working through that chart. I have mostly done the major changes that I want to do. I'm trying to go through, and there's a lot of colors, but there's like only 1 or 2 stitches in those colors. And so I'm trying to find them within the chart, see where they're located, see if I can adjust them a little bit so I can knock down the colors. I started with, I think, 406, and I was down to like 360 last night. So I've knocked quite a few off. If I can do that, give it one more pass, I'm getting closer to being able to restart that project. But there's nothing to really show you on that, unfortunately, because it's all on my iPad at the moment. So I believe that's everything. So with that, let's move on. I have no specific project dreams. I have nothing new to my yarn shelf, so that brings me to day to day. So it, like I said, was a busier week, and I did not end up with as much yarny time as I had hoped. Wednesday was the day we had our parent-teacher conferences, and we have to work all day and all night. We get out at 7:30, and I actually, don't tell anybody, left at 6:30 so that I could still go to Bible study, but then I was out and I didn't get home until 9:30. So I was actually home even later than I would have been. And so that was all day Wednesday. And then I was just, that wears you out. So Thursday I was home, but then Friday night I had my card class, and I had 3 lovely ladies here. It was wonderful. I had taken the time and designed the cards over February break, so that was good because all I had to do was just cut the cardstock this week, and that was a real big blessing. I'm glad that I had the foresight to do that. If I'm smart, maybe I will try to work ahead so that come April I can not have to push that particular week of the class. But that was Friday night. And then Saturday, my husband had a meeting in the morning, and I went with him to hang out with my friend. And then we had like errands, we did groceries, and we took my son shopping so he could get some stuff for his apartment, and visited my mother-in-law. And then yesterday was church and cleaning the fish tank And yeah, it just, the weekends sped by. And of course, daylight savings time, right? I don't know about you guys, but the older I get, the less I like daylight savings time and the harder it is for me to make that adjustment. I actually did okay yesterday, but this morning when I was waking up, I was feeling very rude that it was already time for my alarm to go off. So, but it is a sign of warmer days and better things to come. So I will take it for what it is. I will enjoy this beautiful warm sunshine. I think tomorrow is another really beautiful day, maybe even slightly warmer than today. And then we have a little dip. I think there's some snow in a forecast, like, welcome to Maine, y'all. That's kind of where we're at, but eventually we will get to those warmer days. So, all right, I do believe that is everything for today. I thank you so very much for taking a listen. I will have links down below in my show notes. If you enjoyed the podcast, do hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you know when I have something new. You can follow me on Ravelry and Instagram as Knittin Michelle, KNITTINMICHELLE. You can also find me or send me an email if you would like at michellesfiberstudio@gmail.com. With that, I hope you have a fantastic week and happy knitting.